Lesker sputter is a load-locked, single-wafer metal sputter deposition tool providing flexible processing options for non-CMOS compatible materials. The 8-gun magnetron Lesker is classified as gold contaminated and sputter deposits metal thin films up to 1 micron thick. The Lesker sputter tool is located in the NSIL lab in the Paul Allen Building, room 155A. Access to this room is limited to staff and qualified lab members. The Lesker sputter is in the gold contaminated equipment group. Substrates can come from any piece of equipment in the clean, semi-clean, or gold groups. Most vacuum compatible materials are allowed in this system. Photoresist is acceptable on wafers as long as it has been hard baked. Kapton tape is allowed for holding smaller samples to holder wafers, but should not be exposed to the sputter etch. Sodium and potassium containing glasses are allowed. Most semiconductor materials and high vacuum compatible plastics are also acceptable. After deposition of any material in the Lesker, including aluminum, the substrates are considered contaminated with gold and non-standard metals and can only go into other gold contaminated equipment. The tool can do the following: 4 or 6 inch substrates, pieces attached to 4 or 6 inch substrates, sputter etch, vacuum anneal up to 800 degrees C, substrate bias, base pressure to 7 × 10 to the -8 torr, insulating materials with RF guns, the deposition of ferromagnetic materials such as cobalt, nickel, and/or iron on the RF high-strength magnet, and in addition can deposit a large assortment of other metals. See the wiki pages for a complete list of materials that can be deposited with this tool. And for introducing a new source material, contact SNF-Prom Committee at lists.stanford.edu. The tool cannot do attached pieces thicker than 0.5 inches. The most current deposition targets and their locations are listed in Badger and on the tool logbook. Proper attire when using the tool includes blue smock, hair bouffant, gloves, and face mask. The following is the operating procedure for the Lesker sputter tool. These instructions can be found in the SNF wiki pages as well as next to the tool. First, enable the tool on Badger. On Badger, Lesker sputter can be found under the NSIL tab. On the Lesker touchscreen, run LL, or load lock, vent. This process should take around 5 minutes. Load the wafer face down into the LL chamber. If you are running a 6-inch wafer, an insert can be found in the basket under the load lock. Run LL pump. This process should take around 8 minutes. Run sample load. Follow the directions on the recipe monitor window to load your sample. Lesker sputter requires user action on the following steps. To move to the next step after you perform the action, click the resume button. Raise the process chamber, or PC, Z-shift, or just the Z-shift, all the way. This is done by turning the crank clockwise. The Z-shift should already be as high as possible, however, and should not need to be rotated. The machine then homes the stage. Raise LL platen stage to fully extended. Turn the LL platen crank clockwise to do so. It should take a few turns. Extend LRP, the linear rack and pinion, to LL transfer position. Turn the LRP crank clockwise. This should take around 15 rotations. Looking at the LRP location display, located on the front of the machine, above and to the left of the keyboard, the fully extended distance shown by the red numbers is 833. Lower the LL platen stage. This should take fewer than 2 full counterclockwise turns. Retract the LRP to the EOT position. This should take around 15 clockwise turns. And reading the LRP location display, home position is distance 0. Wait for the machine to close the LL valve. Lower the Z-shift. Turn the Z-shift handle counterclockwise until it is at the 12 o'clock position. Then rotate the handle through 9 full counterclockwise rotations. Extend the LRP to the Z-shift position. This takes around a half dozen clockwise rotations. On the LRP location display, this is achieved at a distance of exactly 257. Raise the Z-shift until the substrate holder is transferred from LRP to plate. Rotate the Z-shift crank clockwise slowly. Watch through the viewing pane until the wafer holder starts to raise with the Z-shift and comes off the LRP. Retract the LRP to the EOT position. Watch through the chamber viewing pane to ensure a clean retraction. The proper distance on the display is again 0. Raise the Z-shift to fully retracted. This takes around 9 clockwise rotations. The sample load recipe is now complete. Be sure to close the viewing pane before running a deposition. Run the desired recipe. On the touch screen, select Run Recipe. Choose the recipe. From the drop-down menu, select a master recipe with your desired source number or target number. Make sure the recipe is downstream control. Change desired recipe parameters. Type in numbers via the keyboard and hit Continue Load when done. The recipe will now run. Make sure the viewing pane is closed during deposition. Run sample unload when the recipe is complete. Raise process chamber Z-shift to fully retracted. Attempt gently to turn the handle clockwise, but the Z-shift should be at the top already. At this point, the machine will home the substrate. Lower Z-shift to align with LRP. Again, starting with the handle at the 12 o'clock position, rotate through 9 complete counterclockwise rotations. Extend the LRP to the Z-shift position. On the display, this is achieved at a distance of 257. Watch through the viewing pane to ensure proper positioning. Lower the Z-shift to transfer substrate holder from Z-shift to LRP. Lower the Z-shift slowly, around a single clockwise rotation of the handle. Watch through the viewing pane to ensure proper transfer. Retract LRP to the EOT position. Rotate clockwise until the display reads a distance of 0. Raise the Z-shift to a fully retracted position. This should take around 10 complete clockwise rotations. The machine will now release the load lock. Lower the LL Platen stage. Attempt to turn the handle counterclockwise, but it should already be in the lowest position. Extend the LRP to the LL transfer position. This should take around 15 counterclockwise rotations. This is achieved at a distance of 833 on the display. Raise LL Platen stage to fully extended. This should take several clockwise rotations. Watch through the LL to ensure the substrate holder has transferred properly. Retract the LRP to the OT position. Rotate clockwise until the display reads a position of 0 from 833. Lower the LL Platen stage. This should take several counterclockwise turns. Run the LL vent. This should take about 5 minutes. You may now remove your wafer. If possible, please load a dummy wafer into the load lock. Run LL pump. This process should take around 10 minutes. This completes the video for operating the Lesker sputter tool.